Stay up. Okay, so it's off the top of my head. So I may not remember every single thing on the show, on both shows. Let's start out with the Titus O'Neil Hulk Hogan thing. That was awkward as I thought it would be. If you only saw the broadcast version of Hulk Hogan and Titus, you need to. It's on Twitter, and definitely look up that the people were booing heavily when Hulk Hogan was speaking, but on the broadcast version, that was not the case. So in reality, he's still hated, and WWE hates that, and they want you to love him. That's messed up that they're censoring your right to cheer and boo. Next up is Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. I thought the finish of the match was really good. It didn't count as actual interference from MVP. MVP didn't do the usual thing like physically getting in the ring and like distracting the referee or like, doing some foreign object stuff there like Jey Uso did. But he just said, hey, and it was Drew's own fault for looking that way and not keeping his eye on the ball. Unlike in the main event where Jey Uso was definitely all over the place there, forcing things to his master's will. MVP just shouted something and Drew's like, derpy derp. This is okay. Remember a few years ago when Asuka was fighting against Carmella and James Ellsworth was on the apron dressed as another Asuka clone. Asuka could have continued in that match. However, how can you really continue in the match when someone is on the apron in your path? MVP was not in the path. Drew chose to be distracted by that one, and that cost him. So in my mind, Bobby Lashley got a clean win over Drew McIntyre. That was Drew's own fault. And then BP, he called a shot, and Drew fell for the bait. But it wasn't like MVP did something that was impossible for Drew to avoid. I don't care about the Women's Tag Team Championship stuff, so I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go a little bit forward into night 2. Logan Paul, KO, and Sami Zayn. A good back and forth match there. Logan Paul was doing very little in there. He took a bump. That's good there for the crowd. The good crowd chanting that stuff. That was really cool. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I was surprised with that one. I thought WWE for sure would do the usual thing they do and have the full-time wrestler do majority of the work and the celebrity come in there and do some stuff. Randy Orton actually said that that Bad Bunny impressed him. So I was like, oh shit, Randy Orton likes him, so that's something. So Bad Bunny he did like a flying hurricanrana. He did the usual celebrity splash. He sold a lot in the match as well. He has some solid punches and forearms. He was not bad. He was not bad in the ring. I would say that he's pretty good. Almost into AJ Styles. I was over at a friend's house watching night 1, by the way, and almost I thought it was going to do like typical big man thing. He did do typical big man thing, but he looked good doing it. That's the most important part. If you're going to chop somebody, make it sound good, make it look good, make the other person sells well. They made it almost look really, really good. He did more than a few moves, which is more than that Kato guy that interfered on Apollo Cruz's behalf. He came in there. The match, thankfully, with Apollo and Big E wasn't that long because they already had long matches beforehand. So Dabba-Kato came in there, and gee, I wonder why they paired those two together. So Dabba-Kato is aligned with Apollo Crews, and Apollo Crews looks going to have the title for a long time because he has backup now. Seth Rollins' intro, one of the flame section on the side that didn't really pop up well, so that means he's going to lose. No, it doesn't mean he's going to lose. I was very happy seeing Cesaro do the UFO to Seth Rollins. He hasn't done that since the Indies, I believe. I don't think he's done it to anybody else in WWE. So Cesaro doing the UFO, that was really cool. Um, I mean, like even my boys at the place I was at, who wasn't really into wrestling, they were like, "Oh my god!" Um, but other than that, the tag team match with New Day and versus almost an AJ Styles there that popped them really good. There's some good moves in that match. Um, the women's title match, Sasha and Belair. Um, yeah, I overall enjoyed the match. It wasn't horrible. I like that Bianca finally used her fucking braid. Maybe someone in the main roster was complaining about the hair whipping thing in NXT, which stopped. Of course, it had to stop. So Sasha took one for the team. She took a slice right to their ribs area, and now she's a scar forever. So that's cool. She was smiling after the match. Um, so yeah, overall good performances all around per se. Um, Fiend versus Randy Orton. Fiend, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with that one. I don't really care in the end, but I look forward to seeing more Fiend and Randy Orton stuff going on there. So, I don't know what's going to go on there. I don't know why Alexis Bliss was like that. So that was weird to me. Let me see here. Other women's match of the show. That's it, really. Uh, I don't think that's it. There, Bailey doing that stuff there, being annoying, and then getting a couple of chops from the couple of hits from the belts, whatever. I don't fucking care about Bailey and the bellas. I don't fucking care. Um, Anything else in the show? Um, they spread out the nights pretty evenly with a whole bunch of stuff there, so they made it work somehow, some way. The pyro looked good and everything. There's no issue with the pyros at all. Everything was timed perfectly well. It all looked good there. Best entrances. Um, Edge looked great as usual because of the whole thing. Bobby Lashley looked cool with the whole thing and the power going off in the background. Drew's look cool. But like new cool, I got to give it to Braun. Braun with the smoke coming out the camera and everything. I was like, damn, that's fucking epic right there. That looks really good. Yeah, just his was like new and cool for the visuals. So just Braun, which is ironic. Best looking one, Sasha Banks. Good lord. Midriff, off to the side a little bit over here. New hairstyle, different colors and everything that we never saw before. A great mascara, makeup. That was like, Sasha, damn, who do you? Damn. Hope you look like that in The Mandalorian. We'll get some mad viewers, yo. So yeah, she looked mad good. She looked mad good. Bianca looked the same as always. She didn't have any special look. But Sasha, damn, she brought it out. She showed up and showed out. Um, Best match on WrestleMania 37. Um, I'd probably say, damn, like overall match. I, oh yeah. Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. Um, Good ending. Majority of the matches were good, but none of them I thought were great. But the best, the two endings to me that stuck out is Drew versus Lashley ending and the ending of Cesaro and Seth Rollins the first night because that spin was ridiculous. And props to Cesaro for doing that kind of stuff there. And then he went into like his neutralize his actual finisher and pinned them off of that one. So that was nice, clean, decisive victory. And the way that Lashley beat up Drew McIntyre and Drew was fighting like a champ. And Lashley was like, no, 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 no. And it's like just cranking it in there. I was like, some deep ass stuff right there. Everything else in the show was fine, but those were the impact ones. Like I'm tired of hokey shit. When WWE get a lot of hokey finishes most of the time, um, as soon as they made the triple threat match with Daniel Bryan and everything, I'm like, oh, here comes Jey Uso. Triple threats mean no DQ, which means Jey Uso can come down there and do a bunch of shenanigans. Now, the meaning behind him pinning both of them, I would surmise that it was to make Roman look dominant. If you look at my prediction video, which I did last week, I called that Roman's going to take this whole thing. I got a couple wrong. I'm not going to lie. Got a couple wrong. But Roman winning, I knew that had to be the case. When I predicted it, it had to be the case because there's no one for Daniel Bryan or Edge to fight consistently long term with the Universal title. The only person that can hope to have that title right now on SmackDown is Roman Reigns. Because you're not going to have Daniel Bryan fight KO or Sami Zayn or Edge fighting anybody else. Edge is not going to be a full timer. He's not going to be that way. So he can't get the belt. He's just there for just a body to put on good matches. And hopefully that's what he's doing in the future. Don't give him a title shot if he's not going to be on there every episode or whatever. Don't do that. So he needs to be that way. But I enjoyed night one more than night two for sure. Not a night two was horrible. Just night one had a lot more cool spots into it, like the Bad Bunny thing, the almost thing was really cool. Cesaro's, Rollins, and Lashley, Bianca Belair, night one, like all this stuff was like much cooler than stuff on night two. Night two had Sheamus versus Riddle. Isn't that a Raw match? You had oh yeah, Braun versus Shane was also night one. That was a good match as well. Some good spots in there as well. That was cool. Night two, yeah, man, I'm like drawing a blank on what happened with night two. Let me go to this video real quick here, and Fiend. They kind of made the Fiend look bad right there, but it's a thing where they're just going with the feud. Okay. And they had a regular SmackDown ass match with Big E and Apollo Crews. That wasn't anything special either. Okay, Ripley versus Asuka. I kind of zoned out in that match. It was a little bit too long for me, and it wasn't really doing a lot of cool stuff in there. It had some cool stuff in there, but like for the amount of time, not enough. Did the right person win? Sure, Rhea had the belt. I don't really care. Whatever. Just one. Yeah, man. I mean, like, yeah, night two didn't have a lot of like special matches on there. You get KO versus Zayn again. You get Apollo versus Big E again. You get Matt Riddle versus Sheamus again. I mean, like, and night one you had Lashley versus Drew. Yeah, again, yeah, we get that part, but it wasn't like for a long ass time. It was like for like a year. Braun versus Shane, first time ever. Bianca versus Belair, first time ever. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins, a one-on-one. Maybe it was a SmackDown, but at WrestleMania, like first time ever for that one. And like in a very important way. So like night one had more exclusive important things. So yeah, night one definitely gets the thumbs up in my book. Just night two, just like it was fine, but like night one just like blew it out of the water. But I'm happy the format, the way this goes for WrestleMania, night one, night two, they can give more people shine by having it two nights like this. Maybe they have to look at the revenue, see how much it's worth to do it two nights, stuff like that. Rent the building for 2 days. But yeah, it was fun the way it was. If you had WrestleMania be one night, 6.5 hours, 7 hours, like this is. I would say probably the women would go. Who knows? Will go first? Probably like Sammy and Kay will go first, shit like that. But to get Logan Paul out of the building, but it'd be hard to say what would be at what point in the show. Are you really gonna like having it two nights like this made it really easy to put the women's match for the SmackDown Women's title on that particular. It's funny how SmackDown main events both shows. Just letting you know that right now. SmackDown main event at both shows. That's they're letting you know that right now. It's worth more money. SmackDown is worth more. They had a chance to do it with Lashley and Drew, but they didn't. They made SmackDown and both shows. So that shows more importance to people in case you're not watching it. Definitely more important to the company when they put those brands on last. Even though technically speaking, they should have, because the star power of the main event on SmackDown was definitely higher than anything else in the show. And the first ever match between those two, Bianca and Sasha, definitely more important than virtually anything else in the show. And I like how no other particular, reviewer of WrestleMania 37, none of them talk about how Michael Cole said that it's the first time two black women ever main evented WrestleMania. He said it real quick. He never said it again. It was during the whole, like when Sasha and Bella were feeling the crowd up there. He said it then. I think it was like a faraway shot. They cut away from there. So like he said it, but no other person talks about that one. That's a big deal, but no one's talking about that. I caught that. So yeah, the match that could have been good. I mean, Fiend versus Orton already happened already. They need to get these things a little bit more special, man. Like I don't I wouldn't mind seeing KO fight Sheamus next year, just for the fact that it never happened before. At least in recent memory, I don't remember them fighting. Just invent some new matches, man. Come on, something's coming up, so get some new matches in there. So that's it for now. Quack off.